I'm Tad Flakey.
I'm Lilibet Flakey.
And this is Pointless Global News. On today's show, it's a coup d'etat at the Pooseum.
Then, an irregular heartbeat might be corrected by a rectal exam.
Next, an all-you-can-eat restaurant in Spain now charges a vomit fee if you overstuff your gullet. That story later, but first, a new museum in Williams, Arizona boasts a Guinness World Record-winning collection of fossilized excrement, and it is pure, solid archaeological perfection. If you've never thought of your number twos as anything more than embarrassing, disgusting crap, well, cock-a-doodle-poo, it's time to wake up to a magnificence of coprolite. That's the scientific word derived from the Greek word for dung stone. Welcome to founder George Franzen's Pooseum, a new brick-and-mortar home for his collection that was formerly stored as a virtual resource center started in 2014. To think curious coproliticans previously had to see these wonders on a flat screen or scattered about in museums throughout the dung-filled earth, well, finally they can now see all 8,000 pieces of shit live before their very eyes. Please don't touch your eyes. The pink Iolithic period killed the dinosaurs, you know. If you've ever looked in the toilet and said, "Holy crap, I bet that's the biggest there ever was," well, sorry, you're wrong. And you might know that if you took a minute to stop praising your toilet work and actually learned something at the Pooseum. Not only can you take pictures in front of a 4-foot-wide titanosaur poop replica to send to your family, I'm sure they'll enjoy getting that, but you can also check out the largest coprolite ever found, named Barnum, measuring 26.5 inches by 6.2 inches, the glorious product of a Tyrannosaurus Rex's ass. So maybe it's time you got your head out of your own ass and take a trip to Arizona and make something of yourself. Perhaps you think this is all one big joke. Well, while everyone enjoys a good poop wisecrack, second only, of course, to a fart quip, there is some real science within the Pooseum's exhibits. The unique toilet cloggers found that they can give us a peek-a-poo into the diets, behaviors, and environments of creatures who lived on Earth long before us. They are prehistoric time capsules, George Franzen says. They come in all sizes and from all parts of planet Earth. Ancient shitters, they're just like us.
Ancient poo is very important in figuring out what people ate, what animals ate, where they traveled, and so it is a big deal.
And now this museum, it's poo-tastic.
How about that? Walking home one night, a 29-year-old man from Queens started experiencing heart palpitations at 140 beats per minute, which is a little higher than the average resting rate of 60 to 100 beats per minute. But when he was admitted to the hospital, the solution came as a bit of a surprise in an area farther south of his heart. Rarely dangerous or life-threatening, heart palpitations can be brought on by several causes like a lack of sleep, caffeine, alcohol, or stress. The rapid fluttering, flip-flopping, or pounding sensations in the chest often go away on their own, or could be a sign of arrhythmia, which is abnormal heartbeats when electrical signals that tell the organ how to beat aren't working properly. Before using standard procedures to restore regularity, the attending doctor needed to check for gastrointestinal bleeding by performing a routine digital rectal exam. A finger up the butt was all it took to slow down the patient's heartbeat to 80 beats per minute and make the irregular heartbeat disappear, even months later at a follow-up. Having no history of heart problems or signs of a heart attack, the man had undergone an EKG or electrocardiogram that detected signs of atrial fibrillation, AFib, a common type of arrhythmia. AFib means the heart's upper and lower chambers are out of sync, resulting in less blood filling the lower chambers and reaching the lungs and the rest of the body. While the cause of the man's irregular heartbeat was unknown, typical medications or a procedure that uses synchronized low-energy electrical shocks are usually the first lines of treatment. The patient was also prescribed an anticoagulant to prevent the formation of blood clots. While the usual treatments slow and regulate heart rhythm within hours, the rectal exam provided the same solution in a matter of minutes. The theory was that the exam affected the man's nervous system by stimulating the vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in the body, which connects the brain to major organs like the lungs, gut, and heart. During the exam, the man was also instructed to use a technique called the Valsalva maneuver, a breathing exercise that increases activity in the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve stimulation is thought to increase activity in the parasympathetic nervous system, the counter to the body's fight or flight mode, and slow electrical conduction of the heart. Although the exact cause is unknown, AFib is often associated with overactivity of the parasympathetic nervous system. However, the heart condition can sometimes be linked to another serious condition, congestive heart failure, meaning the heart doesn't pump blood efficiently. In the case of the man from Queens, though, the doctor who treated him believes the vagus nerve stimulation slowed down his heartbeats. While the rectal procedure could be another method of treating heart arrhythmias, more research is needed before it replaces traditional methods like medications or medical procedures. I have a lot to say about this.
And I, believe it or not, I have something to say about it too.
First of all, if you go into the emergency room with AFib, doing a rectal exam for occult blood is not part of the normal workup, okay? No, it is not. So that's the first problem that we have here.
Darn.
Secondly, what they will do is something called carotid massage. Well, they will put a hand on either side of your throat and massage both of your carotid arteries, the right and left. And then they would do the Valsalva maneuver, which is what you do when you're constipated and you need to poop. You kind of hold your breath and go, But doing a rectal exam, I'm sorry, I've been in healthcare for 50 years. Nobody will convince me that is part of a normal workup for somebody with atrial fib.
And why do I have this weird idea that once people know about this, they'll use this as an excuse for some sexual experimentation? Like, oh, I got to check your heart.
Well, I wondered if that ER doctor didn't have something else going on other than trying to figure out his irregular heartbeat. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. But I'm sorry, if you go into the emergency department for atrial fib and they're trying to stick a finger up your butt to test for occult blood or to slow your AFib, you can ask them if they could try some other things.
You probably need to ask for an adult as well. Finally, an all-you-can-eat restaurant in Spain is introducing a vomit fee for diners who eat until they're sick on the premises. Sushi Toro, located in Gelvis in Spain near Seville, said it had experienced a growing number of incidents in recent months involving customers eating until they burst and then vomiting. The restaurant said the problem had affected tables and bathrooms, creating difficulties for staff and raising concerns over hygiene and customer service. In a statement shared on social media, restaurant staff said, quote, "We have had many customers who keep ordering nonstop and eat until they burst, until they vomit. We have had vomit on the tables and in the bathrooms." They added that the only solution was to start charging vomit fees. The restaurant, which promotes a fusion of tradition and innovation, offers a buffet menu featuring dishes prepared using fresh ingredients and special techniques. Prices range from $23 to $33, so it's pretty affordable, depending on the day and time of which you're dining. Sushi Toro bosses said that their staff strive hard to get orders out on time and maintain good hygiene throughout all service periods. They urge diners to order what you can eat and apologize for any inconvenience caused by the new policy.
People are just greedy. And for $33, come on, folks. You don't have to eat until you throw up. No, but people are greedy.
Yeah, they just think they need to get the biggest bang for their buck, I guess.
Yep.
And that's going to be a wrap for another Pointless Global News. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Tad Flakey.
I'm Lilibet Flakey.
Stay pointless, my friend.